So pay close attention to this. This is the importance of authorship. Again, one thing that I like to do when I teach is I build the foundation. So everything I say afterwards makes sense because everything I said before. So remember, your perceived value to the marketplace, from little children to the cameraman at the news, to the editor-in-chief at the University in Richmond. When I did the Netflix, when I was on Netflix, it was a documentary they were recording. The perceived value, people never met me, is shot through the roof because I got this big, crazy book. Boom. When you go to schools and say, hey, this is the value that I bring to your school. I talk about, now we vet, so y'all already know, discipline, leadership, grit, identity, focus, mental toughness. It's a whole list of things that we could discuss as veterans for school. Cool, ain't nothing wrong. They'll bring you in. But when you walk up and say, hey, I'm a published author, and in this book, this is what I talk about, so forth, so on, so forth, and so on. Now you got an easier opportunity to get into schools. And remember, schools have money. The government has been dumping funds into these schools for the COVID relief and community rebuilding, all these different types of things. So the funding of these schools has increased. And very important thing, I just dropped off one of my speaker one-sheeters today, and I looked dead at the lady's face, and I said, I know that they start choosing programs now. Summertime is when they start picking for the first quarter to say who's coming in, who's doing what, and they start allocating funds and budgeting for them. Excuse me. So when you start looking at recession proofing, the children going to school.
Yeah.
The people gonna be in school. So imagine if you come to the door and say, hey, I'm a published author of this book. I also got a workbook, and this is what I'm bringing to the table. Can we discuss some type of, then you got speaking engagements, you got consulting, you got a recession. Watch this. You got a recession. Teachers, they ain't rich. So what if you came in using the key called your book, but I want to speak to the teachers on how to be mentally tough during these trying times. So even if you wrote another book specifically for them, why? Because what I teach my clients and students, I teach them frameworks. That's the difference between writing a book for somebody and giving them the methods on how to do it. Because what I teach, you can write any book anytime that you want, get it to the marketplace as soon as possible, just to meet the demand that you currently have before you. This is what I'm doing literally right now. I got some of my framework over here on this paper. I'm going to be typing and going to work tonight because I got another book that I'm about to drop to do exactly what I'm telling y'all right now for this marketplace.
I love that. It's recession proof, and because the schools are always in business,